Hello everybody, this is Vernon Walker. I'm here at the Lite The Nite Design Center with my man Cisco. Today we're going to do an instructional video on just how exactly you want to install our Zarate wheel rings on the rear wheel of your slingshot. We understand there's a lot of people out there that recently bought our new kit and we appreciate your support. So we decided to do a more in-depth video because we understand some people are a little inexperienced in this, so we want to give you a closer, more in-depth look at exactly how this wheel ring goes on. So we're going to show you everything that you need before you start the video, and we're going to show you everything step by step you need to install the video. So stay tuned, pay close attention, and we'll see you soon.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Cisco at Lite The Nite Design Center. Right now I'm going to show you how to remove and install the rear light kit for the wheel. It's two 17mm bolts, one on top and one on the bottom. What you need to grab is a 17mm socket, a 17mm ratchet. These bolts have already been broken loose, so I'm just going to loosen up as much as I can, top, and as much as I can on the bottom. At that point, you just hold the caliper from the bottom up and you start to unloosen them by hand. This is the top caliper bolt, 17mm bolt. Bottom one's identical. These bolts need to be removed in order for you to hang the caliper. You never want to sit the caliper and just let it hang. The fact of the parking brake cable and the brake line are fragile. So you get yourself a hook on a bungee like this, and you can hang it in a safe place out of the way so nothing gets ruined or damaged. Then you remove the rotor. Remember to set the rotor face side down. At this point, you then grab your wheel ring, set it around to where you can hold the wheel ring away so you can feed the caliper through the pocket of the wheel ring right here. You feed the caliper through the pocket of the wheel ring as best as you can without scratching it. Once it's out of the way, you make sure you set the rotor back on. Once you set the rotor on, once the rotor's on and out of the way, you can then pull the bungee off the caliper and set that aside. You reapply the caliper back into its position. Once you got it back into its position, you want to then feed the ring around the caliper. Just hold it in place as best as you can and grab one bolt to start just to hold everything lined up. Now that everything is safe and in place, you then grab your tube of Loctite, the blue kind, and you only put a small dab of Loctite on the bolts. It doesn't need much to drown out. That's all you need. You're going to then run this one bolt at the bottom in. Once you got that one started, you can then back the top one back out and add you some Loctite on the top one. As you can see, the wheel ring sits around the caliper and the rotor on the rear only. You then grab your ratchet, start to tighten everything back up. Now don't tighten the top too tight until you got them all ran down about the same. Because if there's any issues, you don't want to cross thread that bolt. You tighten it up and you move on. You get a 17mm socket, impact socket, and a torque stick. We set the torque stick to 70 foot-pounds of torque for the rear caliper. At 70 foot-pounds of torque, you start at the bottom and work your way to the top. And that there is the installation of the wheel ring for the rear on a 2020 Slingshot.